Good morning, good morning. Y'all know what it is. It's me, your boy Trey. And this morning, of course, Commissioner Mike Myers of the Military Basketball Association. As if you've been tuning in, y'all already know what it is. You know, it's coming down to their end of the season as they get ready to crown the NBA's 2022 champion. We're first formation this morning. Come on and fall in, so y'all can get the latest and greatest. Hear what's been going on in a little bit of the sports world, and get an opportunity to talk about it. Good morning, Commissioner Myers. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing great.
Yes.
Good to be on the first formation.
It's kind of like a different ambiance set because I can remember plenty of times where I was not in no way, form, or fashion happy about being in the first formation. I can remember those days. Even those days when because I can remember the last couple of days in which I did formations. I was the platoon sergeant, so the formations really that was different. A little later in the career,
Mm-hmm.
formation wasn't so much. I didn't do formations, especially being a culinary specialist, where for the most part I was supposed to be in at work until I was told by the first round, like, hey, I need you to come to formation. Then you could just go back to the DFAC after formation to make sure your people here. So of course, but for the most part, first formation wasn't always my best, wasn't my favorite. But I digress. This is a different day, and now we have it to where I can make it my favorite.
Well, when you get up there in ranks, you don't really have a choice but to be in formation. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
a
same.
that's the funny thing
Each
about it.
every day.
Yes. That's the funny thing about it. It's like you go from E4. I mean, of course, you don't have to worry about that. Sorry, unless you was listed. But we
I
go from
wasn't
okay.
listening.
Oh, you was okay.
I
See, so
wasn't
yeah,
listening.
you know that lifestyle. Then, so it's like okay. I remember plenty of times to having that feeling to where that wake up feel like, oh man, I'm all late. Am I late? Am I late? And like all
Oh
that type of
my
stuff.
God.
It,
I
and doing
got it.
all that.
I got in the. I almost got into an accident trying to get to Fort Hood. Coming from
Uh,
Harker Heights.
oh,
So I know the whole. I know the deal. And then you get it. You get there and you got like 30 seconds before the flag goes off, and you sprint into formation. You
what's
you
good, Bishop, sir?
get there.
Oh yeah,
What's going
definitely.
on, WGO? What's good? What's good? How y'all doing this morning? What up, Coach Myers? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
We was
Man,
just
I'm great.
having a conversation about he just pointed out, which I hadn't thought about. As you get further up in formation, then further up in rank, the formations become more and more prevalent. Where he's like, man, because as an E1 coming up, you were like, man, I mean, we know go to formation, but it's less. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got that leader that be on you about, yo, why you wasn't in formation or whatever case like that. It becomes more and more prevalent when you go. I was just thinking, like, yeah, you know what? He's so right, because it was no chance in hell that I was going to be allowed as a platoon sergeant to miss formation without a good reason. I was late to formation. My first sergeant ripped me. I was at the hospital with one of the soldiers. He was like, this is you a platoon sergeant. You don't need. I was like, Roger that, top.
Bad
So
man. I
Coach,
had to see the battalion commander's face every single morning for a whole year in formation. But it's a good thing, man. I mean, we took formation for granted because of COVID, but
mm,
we couldn't have formations no more. It was like, you kind of miss that, getting there, see everybody. People be asleep, some people be hungover. You got a 3 mile run.
oh,
ooh.
that part.
Yeah, that part. So, but it's fun. I mean, it's part of the military experience, and I hope, what I like is the fact that, if you are late to formation, if you tune in, you got this great show that you guys can listen
Yeah,
to.
at least you'll say you
Yeah,
get something out
yeah,
of it. It's like you
yeah.
might as well play anyway. I might as well at
Might as
least
well
catch
I'm
a
talk
little.
late.
Yeah,
sports.
I'm already late, so
you'll say might as well
might as
catch a
well.
little piece. Yeah,
Yeah, might as well catch what I want to catch.
yeah.
Yeah.
Say, in matter of fact, I'm gonna sit in the car. You know what? That's a great thing with smartphones, because like they always say, it's a small computer in your pocket. It's like, man, let me go ahead and tune in. Matter of fact, let me sit up and go. You know what? I think no, I'm not gonna say that. But in any case, what I was about to say. It's funny that Commissioner Myers says it talks about the the 3 mile runs because the whole time, of course, Fort Hood, you got coast to coast. When we had run, but that was like, and then here on Fort Polk they have water tower to water tower, but I never did the water tower at any point. Like I didn't do any. I didn't do the ruck march. I didn't do the water tower. They always talk about PT on the golf course. I never did all that. I guess I was fortunate to miss all those things. And then of course as we know, the standard 36 36 minute or 4 miles. I didn't do any of that while I was here. For the year I did on Fort Polk, somehow I missed that all. I guess it was just work call, duty call.
That's deep, man. You did the 36 minutes and 4 miles in 36 minutes. That's back when I was enlisted. That was
the last time I did that, sir, was when I was in Fort Hood in 2012. That's the last time I did it.
Coast to coast, that's no joke, man. I mean, you're going to Clear Creek, going all the way to
Clear Creek to Fort Hood.
That's it. Fort Hood Road. If you do that.
Yeah.
And it's always that situation when you're running, it is like you thinking about you about to turn off, and then it is like, it's like, running. Let's go, keep going. Yeah. Like the commander keep, and for me, you know what, I fall back. Of course, I fall back and look a little because I'm trying to see, is the commander finna make a left, or is he finna keep straight?
Good morning.
And of course, it's always the same thing. Keep straight, and it's like, come on, sir. It's like, well, we already know what this is, so I start prepping my mind at what point when I'm about to fall back. So it's like, this isn't me.
I
anymore.
got the stragglers. I know.
I got the stragglers.
You already know.
I got them. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Hey, let's go. Let's get a formation.
Hey, people fighting trying to get the stragglers.
Like, no, man, you got him last side. Like, man, fall in.
You got him. I got him. Don't worry. No, get back in formation. I got it.
Some commanders, man, they take you out there. They take you out like out. Like, you're gonna get baptized today. They took you out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. See, that's that officer PT. I be seeing that officer PT. But you know what? I wonder, before we really get into sports, like, sir, even I don't know if you did it like esprit de corps, but as a enlisted, did you ever were you ever the guidon bearer doing a run?
Oh heck yeah! As an enlisted person,
yes,
I run around that formation. I ran around a commander. Look, I ran around a commander. You wouldn't listen. As an enlisted person, I was a little E2, E3. I was about 165 pounds, and I was running 11-minute miles. Yeah, I was not one. They would try to take me out, but they got I didn't slow down till I actually commissioned. Then I started working 13s. But when I was a little E2, E3, I was out there, calling cadence, having
all of that.
Yeah, you was not gonna get both out of me. You wasn't gonna get a runner and a cadence caller. You had to pick. You had to choose. I'm sorry. Well, no, I won't say that. I didn't call cadence. That was.
I did call cadence. I called cadence quite a bit. But as far as running around with the guy, I don't know. You ain't finna catch me doing none of that. That was too much. They
called me a couple of times with that guy on. I was like that. I was like, man, this is not that lifestyle. It helps sometimes. It's like, okay, I'm keeping pace with the commander, but when it be like, hey, okay, when you come put it to the motivation portion of it, you're like, oh my goodness, here we go. So, of course, with the here we go, a couple of congratulations is in effect, as we had a few things go on over the weekend in sports. Before we get to that, Bishop, how was your weekend this weekend, sir?
Oh man, it was great, man. I had a great weekend. For those that follow me on Facebook and stuff of that nature, man, I'm sure y'all saw, as I told y'all earlier in the week last week, that I was in a wedding. So the wedding was on Saturday, and man, was it a beautiful wedding. It was an amazing wedding for Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, who they are now as of Saturday evening. Amazing wedding. Everything kicked off on Friday. Had a rehearsal on Friday. That's why y'all missed me again on Friday. Again, I was telling you, I had to go make sure my pants were squared away because I had some difficulties with the trousers. So I had to make sure they was right for Saturday. So I went and did that on Friday, all day Friday, trying to get that squared away, helping out the my wife and all of that stuff. We just had so much going on Friday. That's why y'all missed me Friday preparing for the wedding. And like I said, we had rehearsal. Then of course the wedding was on Saturday, and it was a great day. And we got back. The wedding was here in town, but we got back home to the house here on Sunday evening afternoon, and it was amazing, man. We had a blast. We had a blast, man.
So of course, like I said, saying shout out to the Johnsons. Congratulations. I guess
That
everything
is,
is in order. Congratulations
yeah.
in order.
Right.
Additionally, of course, congratulations in order, as I'm so happy to report that the Ole Miss
Of
men's
course you are. Of
basketball,
course you
I'm
are. Of course you
correction,
are.
baseball
Of
were
course you are.
victorious.
Of
They
course you're
had
happy
the
with that.
trials and tribulations they went through during this season,
Oh
and
my God.
and just to sit up and go through the SEC. To go through the SEC tournament, ousted in the first round. They had a losing record, like I think it was 7-14 or something like that. And then to go and be crowned the Men College World Series champions as they defeated the Oklahoma Boom Sooners.
You don't get the right to say that like that. You
In
don't get the
during
right. You don't get the right to do that. And
You-
what I will say, both teams, the Sooners as well as the Ole Miss Rebels, the
Rebels,
Mississippi
yes.
Rebels, I will say both teams were not ranked going in. Don't laugh at that, Andre. Don't laugh at that. Are not ranked going into this World Series. Both teams were unranked teams. Matt, shouts out to Ole Miss. I give y'all props, man. Y'all made it happen. Y'all came in and punched Oklahoma in the mouth and got the W. It is what it is, man. I'm happy for them. Y'all did what y'all was supposed to.
Yeah, I got it right. Didn't that sound like a very good
Leo,
rendition of Bishop?
Leo, don't do
I
that.
know.
Don't do that.
Additionally, Sydney McLaughlin, we all know her from being the hurdlist, holding the record for the hurdlist. Of course, again, she does it all again during the United States track and field event, running a 51.41 to break her record, her best for the year. Of course, like I said, of course, shout out Sydney McLaughlin that she reset her world record time. Additionally, in the USFL, if y'all haven't been paying attention, they are down to now their last game, as both team of the 4 teams played this weekend for the Northern and Southern Conference Championships, in which Philadelphia Stars shocked the number 1 ranked and seeded overall New Jersey Generals with a W in late in the fourth quarter, coming out victorious, punching their ticket, and they will be facing the home stated Birmingham Stallions as they ran through the New Orleans Breakers for the first what's going to be played on July 3rd, the first USFL's rebooted season, first championship for 2022. Of course, it's talking about how they have different plans going on for next season and building not to expand, but basically to get further into their markets and not to possibly expand until the 2024 season. USFL championship will be, of course, like I said, the Philadelphia Stars versus the Birmingham Stallions. What else? Where else? And of course, it just so happened we have Commissioner slash Coach Mike Myers, Major Mike Myers, on the show today. After 21 years, we are here to say congratulations to this year's 2022 NHL Stanley Cup champions, as the Colorado Avalanche claim
That's
another
right.
victory, their third one in franchise correction. Yes, third cup in franchise history, as they dispatched
Congratulations.
the Tampa Bay Lightning, who was starting to become pretty hot. Hey, you figure it was just the NHL was just a regular season, and then the playoffs belonged to the Tampa Bay Lightning. But Colorado showed they had other plans for that, and they are now NHL champions for the 2022 season. So, of course, we wanted to get those
Okay.
congratulations out in front, so that way, hey, everyone knows. If you didn't know, now you know. Commissioner Myers, what's good with you this morning? What's going on in the
Hey,
NBA?
first, I mean, oh well, the NBA. I just want to say shout out to the Colorado Avalanche.
Okay, okay.
That's that they have a great program. I was up in Denver, and it was all about the Avalanche like 2 weeks ago, and I was up
Mhm.
there. They love hockey here, and it's a good feeling. And I'm definitely gonna see if I can get to that parade when they and it's awesome. The NBA, man,
Yes.
we are hopping and popping. We are ready to go. Um, I'm really excited to have the teams coming here for the fourth NBA Finals championship. We got a lot of things planned. A lot of our partners and supporters are going to be doing a lot of great things for our athletes that come here and show up. And the first day is going to be really grueling and exciting with teams playing 2 games on Friday. That's the pool play. That'll wrap that up. And then we'll go into the play-in format. Nobody in the military basketball world has a play-in format. This came from the great Ted Albers. He's a all Air Force coach, all Team USA coach. He's got I think it's 10 gold medals, but he's been playing, coaching basketball all over the world and for the military. And he's got this amazing format that allows a team, think about it, you travel back in the day in the old way of doing business. If you get 2 losses, that's it. You could be out of the tournament on Friday.
And made that trip all the way to made that trip all the way for nothing.
Exactly. So enjoy your stay and all that, right? But basketball is over with. But for what TL has done, what our team has done, is we now have a format that you could lose the first 2 games on Friday and actually, and that could be for any reason. You could have guys who couldn't get off; they just flew in. They flying in Saturday. They couldn't get off of work on Friday, so they fly in Saturday. You have your strong team. You're 0-2. You can finish 3-2 and win the whole thing, or 4-2 and win the whole thing. And so it's really a great format. You don't have to play, umpty million games, 11 million games to come out of a loser's bracket. So we're really proud of that. And I mean, the way we treat our champions, is awesome. I mean, we have the champagne celebration.
Okay.
We have the Gatorade celebration. We have a ring ceremony. So it's just going to be a really fun time, and I am extremely excited for all the teams that are going to be participating this year.
How many teams are going to be playing in the field this year for the tournament?
Right now we have 16, but we may go to 15 potentially. And that's what's so cool about our format is that we're able to everything is going to be the same for everyone across the board. Everyone's going to get their 2 games in pool play on Friday, and then go into the elimination rounds on Saturday. So it's really cool. But right now we're sitting at 16 teams, and then the tournament directors, if something changes, we're very quickly able to adjust because anything can happen for mission requirements and all that stuff. People might not be able to come because they're supporting something else, and that's duty first. And so I'm a big supporter of that as well. So, but it's still fun. I mean, it is gonna be a blast, man.
Roger that. So, of course, a little NBA talk. I don't know if y'all peeped this. I know it surprised me as Michael Jordan did find a coach for the Charlotte Hornets. Yes, Steve Clifford. Steve Clifford, who actually was their coach before. He did a 5-year stint with the Charlotte Charlotte Hornets, with a record of 196 to 214. As well as 2 playoff appearances from 2013 to 2018. So he's only 4 years removed from the coach. Of course, when Mr. Kupchak moved into the GM position, he took over, and he, of course, got rid of Mr. Clifford and brought in his coach. But he's back for the second time. And ready to go, I guess. So, what do you think about that, Coach Bishop? Isn't that interesting? I think it comes back to that situation like, oh no, y'all got rid of me, and now you want me to come back after this other guy done spurned you, or it could be a situation like he had something to prove and he's ready to go.
Like a job is better than no job.
That part.
So
That part.
Especially those jobs, like
No job. That
yeah,
part.
a job is better than no job. And
Gas prices. Yeah, you need a job. You need a
well,
job.
he's probably pretty well off, but
Yeah.
you know, working with Michael Jordan is obviously going to be difficult. And what you see kind of now is Michael Jordan, I hope, getting out of the way of GM and just being owner and allowing, you know, the smart guys to come in and make these, you know, administrative and personnel decisions, because that's better for the team. You know,
do you
that's
did you find it odd that he was the one doing the interviews for coaching commissioner?
Yeah, we
you
talked about
know,
it on Thursday in regards to Michael Jordan being the one searching for a coach, being that he's, you know, the owner. How do you feel about that?
I, I think so. There's two ways in that. So
Okay.
first of all, you want to Michael Jordan's a competitor and he wants to win, and he wants to know that whoever he selects as a coach is going to have that same winning drive and competitiveness. But the thing that we've seen over the years is that his eye for like talent, um, it it's different than say someone else. So you know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to go out and criticize Michael Jordan, and some people will, but he hasn't made the best decisions when it comes to like, you know, um, some of the drafts and coaching selections that he's made. But that's not to say that he can't change. And if he's in the mindset of picking someone who's, I mean, 196 and 214,
Mm-hmm.
that's under 50%. There's some people who aren't even over 20% for their
Do that.
careers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So he's obviously got a proven track record for winning, but you know, what pieces is MJ going to put around him? Is he going to, and then how many decisions is he going to be involved with as far as picking a coach? If you pick me as a coach, then I'm cool. You interview me, but you don't interview my staff. You don't interview you know, I'm going to select my team to move forward. And if you don't like that, then I guess I won't be coaching for you. And it wouldn't matter how much money you pay me.
Yeah, you got to sit up and set the precedence of knowing that, understanding that it's that I got this. Like I don't have to answer to the GM is one thing, but the answer to the owner and the GM, and then have to do and all that type of stuff, and not really knowing how much you have. So definitely makes it a bigger difference than anything. Of course, you want to know have that continuity, know that okay, this is a situation going in. These are my terms for the most part. You pay me to do this, allow me to do my job. So I know that I failed on my own accord as if I was to fail or I succeeded as such. So I agree with you, Coach. Additionally, interestingly enough, the Orlando Magic, as we knew, took the number one pick of the NBA draft, in which they drafted Paolo Banchero. But also, what has came to light is that they didn't do a pre-draft workout. They just, hey, we're drafting them. I know with talks has been of late where we hear that Shaquille O'Neal said he didn't do any pre-draft workouts or anything like that. He just and basically Orlando ended up picking him. Now we have the same situation with Paolo. Coach, what do you think about Orlando basically drafting blind, just going off of what they've seen as through his play at Duke, and then didn't look and see anything didn't do any private workouts with him and going for that. Would that be something what you would do?
So first of all, I finally got a chance to watch that movie Hustle, right?
Okay.
And bottom line, they've done some homework on this guy,
Okay.
right? But what you want is some recent stuff, you know, information, and data and analysis to see, you know, what you're going to be investing in, because we've seen draft busts before, and every draft produces a bust. It doesn't matter what you think, but every draft, everyone in that draft class is not going to be the star that they make out to be. In my opinion, I think they probably drafted the wrong person. I do believe that when I look at, initially I thought Holmgren should have stayed in college or whatever. But I do, and I think we even had that conversation on this show. But I do believe that he's going to be a star in the league. And so if everyone knows that and you're basing it off of his weight, everybody wants you to fail, but that kid is not gonna. He's coming into the league at 7 feet tall, basically just like KD. He's going to be a problem. So they already made a mistake by drafting someone that they didn't know and then skipping over a guy that they probably should have taken. So the problems with that is just like this. Potential has a shelf life. Nobody potential. You can have all the potential in the world, but you can set it on a shelf somewhere because there's not going to be there's only so far that can go. So hopefully this guy pans out and does well. But we've seen in sports people not do well. What's my man's name from LSU that went to the Raiders?
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell, right?
Yeah.
Total bust, right? You're probably selling cars somewhere in Baton Rouge. I don't know, but the bottom line is that is not what you want to see happen to any person who's got God-given talent, and it's a risk. That's a huge risk. And let's look at the Orlando Magic, right? When's the last time they've been good? 2009, right? That's really the last time you can honestly say that the Orlando Magic were a title contender. And so I really think that they took a risk here. And nobody wants to say it, but OKC came out like the best in the draft. That's my opinion. They came out really good in the draft.
Yeah, and even in that being said, now I wonder, in my opinion, I tend to do a deeper dive and look at stuff. So now with that, if let's say Pantero does come out and doesn't do as well, well, first of all, what is not as well looking? I'm very sure the first year they're not going to say it, even though it's going to start some conversation. But let's say 3 or 4 years from now, when you look at, like you just said, Coach Chet Holmgren or even Jabari Smith, where you had the first pick where you could have chose any of them expectantly. Like no one really expect Ivy or Megan or anything like that. Wasn't the look. But if you look at the core in which it was like even these is 1, 2 is going to be 1, 2, and 3, but not in that particular order. What happens if he's like if he does even fall behind some of the other names that we talked about, he's not that top pick. Or when you look at that, does someone fall on the sword for that? Is it going to be a situation to where
just like Coach Hunter just said, someone's going to get fired?
Yeah,
you're going to get fired. But see, the thing is it's not just like you can't just fire that one person. Every one of those guys, that there's a whole team of people that are dedicated to that guy, right? They're just dedicated to that guy. And if you when you make a mistake, like you saw how they were all meeting on that movie. I mean, that movie Hustle was pretty good, where they're sitting there looking and they're meeting and they're looking for the next guy. And again, you're giving him leeway about 3 or 4 years. Nah, buddy. If you're the number one pick in the draft,
you better be ready. Goodness.
Your ass better be you better be trying to get rookie of the year like your first year. Nobody cares. And if you're not on the level of or even in the conversation of rookie of the year, you're a bust. I'm sorry. You drive if you're like from 10 down, then I can say, okay, well, you ain't meeting your expectations, but we'll give you year 1, year 2, year 3. If you're a top 5 pick, you're expected to come into the league and be producing now. Ain't no developmental. I don't want to hear about no G League or C League or D League. You're supposed to come in and help us win now. Magic Johnson won a title.
Set the precedence.
He set the precedent, so it can be done. He won an NCAA title, came in as a rookie, and won the NBA championship. So and played center. So I don't. There's no learning curve for these guys that get picked 1 through 5. I mean, they'll go down to the G League, do some great things, but if you go down there and you're like, you got people who are on the team balling you up, I don't know. I mean, you're a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
You have it the worst of both worlds. You have the worst of both worlds. You have to produce now, and you're still a rookie. So you got guys who have been in the league on the team, and you're getting them water, but you're better than them. So you're supposed to produce now.
And that's Bishop. You agree? You have anything on it? You muted.
I mean, I'm all what Coach Commissioner Myers is saying, man. I truly feel exactly how he feels about him. Like,
Dang, there's no leeway even for a top.
man,
Wow, that's like
man.
no.
Like, so don't get me wrong, right? I get it, and you do. It is a transition from college ball to pro ball. Don't get me wrong, but however, unlike the NFL, I feel like basketball is a bit different in regards to the play and coming from college play to professional play. Yeah, if you're in the top 10, yeah, we give you an opportunity to say, okay, yeah, you know, you can work your way in and try and find your way into the starting lineup and things of that nature. And we definitely got an eye on you. We're gonna see what you can do. But you're the top 5, man. You're expected to be on the court immediately. We as fans, we as coaches, we as players, we look for that. We look for you to be that stand-in guy to come in and say, all right, you know, I'm that missing piece that possibly could come in and make a difference for this team to make it over the hump.
I'm about to say something controversial.
Go ahead.
All right.
Look, you got your tea, Bishop.
Check this
My
out.
wife just gave me my coffee, bro. Yeah.
You got Melo. Did he go number 1?
No.
Who went number 1 that year?
Ooh, what year? Well, that was what year was that?
Melo
went in the top. I think he went in the top 5, but I don't think he went 1.
Which one? You talking about Carmelo?
Oh, wait a minute. Are we talking about Carmelo Anthony?
Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
LeBron went number 1 that year.
Yes, that was the same year. Yeah, that was the same year.
LeBron went number 1 that year.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo was like number 2.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He was in top 5. Yeah.
So look, Carmelo was the better player.
Coming out
the draft, Melo was the better player.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You don't hear about any one of them being a bust, right? Melo was good for
matter of fact. Number 2 was Darko Milicic.
Yeah. Number 3 was Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
Right. That's I knew there was a reason. So Milicic was a bust.
Yeah, we need to
right. And he got an NBA championship ring.
Right. Mm-hmm. He does.
But he was a bust. Right. They drafted this guy because of whatever. So what I'm saying is 1 through 3. If you don't produce that first year, I think LeBron got Rookie of the Year, right?
Yes.
Melo went to the playoffs, or he was a playoff contender, right? Melo took his team all the way to the Western Conference Finals.
That part.
Okay. So when you start talking about you know, how good these guys are, we're talking about the franchise. The franchise itself is investing millions of dollars into you, right? Thanks. You are supposed to win now, right? You know what leeway is? Leeway is we're the 8th seed in the NBA playoffs. That's leeway, right? Or
to the playoffs, but
or you know what? We're a high draft pick. You know, you've helped us get to number 14 or 15 in the draft if we haven't traded our draft choice away, or we just missed the playoffs. That is leeway. Anything below that, I mean, I think you're I definitely think you're a bust. I mean, you'll be in the league, but these owners don't care about, you know, anything. They want you to produce. It sucks, but they want you to be able to come out there and be a 20-10 guy or a 17-10 guy, And if you can't do that, and you're not shaking up, the standings and selling tickets and getting these guys to where they're supposed to be, then it's a bad investment. And whoever was on that team that was doing the analysis, the workouts, the scouting reports,
enough just to be like,
the whole team's fired.
Everyone got to go.
Everybody got to go.
The whole team's fired.
Right. So let me ask you this, Coach. So is that fair though? Is that fair to put that much expectations on a young kid? He's an adult. We get it. 2021 coming into the league and expecting that much or putting that much pressure on a youngster coming in.
So first, Bishop, before that, so I want to make sure we set the table for you so you make sure you're tracking. So the conversation came up is that basically that Orlando didn't do a pre-draft workout with Paolo Banchero. They just drafted him.
Okay.
So that's
but is that necessary? Do you truly need a
so that's what the conversation is. That's why that's the conversation we have right now.
So I want you to say that slowly. Say it slow. Say if you say it slowly, it doesn't really make any sense. Like, you drafted a guy that you didn't really do a work. Like, what multi-billion-dollar organization is going to do a draft a person? Like, the little ball popped in the thing and you got the lottery pick and you're good to go, and you're not going to look at who you potentially could be having on your team, and you're a multi-billion-dollar organization. If you say it slowly, it just doesn't sound.
Well, let me put this in on your table, Coach and Commissioner. So why even pay attention if you're stickler for a workout? Why even pay attention or go to any of the games to watch him play? Because anything in which you're about to watch him do in a workout, you have seen mostly in his gameplay throughout his college career. Now, mind you, don't get me wrong, you've seen him progress, I'm sure, from his freshman year up to his senior year. You're not interviewing the face of your team who you are paying $58 million. No, I'm not saying that, Coach Hunter. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. My question was, do you have
going in on you?
Yeah, I feel it, and I'm gonna take it.
Oh yeah, go ahead, take it. Yeah, because when you lit that, matter of fact, Coach was in on it too. When y'all lit that powder keg and they was all on me. Yeah, let's go. Hey, jump all on Bishop.
I'm gonna take it, but what I'm saying is, I'm not saying you don't do it. I'm saying, do you really need to?
Yes.
My question is, do you really need to? Because of the
yes.
Like I stated, you've watched this youngster, say Banchero, you've watched him play with Duke. Say you've watched him since his freshman year, and you've seen him progress. You've seen his weaknesses as well as his strengths, and you've seen how those have progressed or even got worse or whatever throughout his college career. Now, no, I'm not saying, let me reemphasize, I'm not saying don't do one, but is it necessary?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you're willing to do that, Bishop?
What?
That you're willing to go ahead and like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and draft this kid based off what we've seen, and you're willing to put your job on the line for that?
So this is what I would say, right? It depends on who the player is. So in other words, say for the Holmgren, we know he's a young kid. I'm not a young kid. We know he's a small kid. Yes, he's 7 foot, but he's a 7 foot fragile specimen in the paint. Now, yes, does he have all the intangibles? Yes, can he? Yes, he has all of that. However, he doesn't have the weight to pound down in the paint. So for me personally, for Holmgren, I'm bringing him in. I'm absolutely bringing him in because I want to see him bang up against some of the big boys get on our squad and see if he can make some things happen. If because I might not have been able to see that during his time in Gonzaga. Now, as far as Banchero and him, I might go off and say, you know what? I've seen enough of what he's done and how he's progressed in his college career. I might not necessarily need a full workout from him. You know what I'm saying? Will I do his in regards to his combine, the weightlifting and all of that, the agility drills and stuff, I might look at that. But as far as anything else, I might not necessarily need a workout.
That guy might be a terrible teammate. He might be a terrible.
Are you gonna find that on the court?
He might be one of those guys. Yeah, he might be one of those guys who's just happy to be there, get a check, doesn't want to come to practice, doesn't fit in with everybody. And here's the thing: once you sign a guy, they can't you can't get that back. Like they are stuck with that guy for the amount of period of time that they're stuck with him, and you have to work with that. So I'm like, if I'm working on a guy like Chet Holmgren, I already know we need to get you some weight gain stuff. We need to put you on a program because you need to get get your weight up, because this the NBA, not the Military Basketball Association. This is
the National Basketball Association.
The National Basketball Association, right? You got guards that will break Chet Holmgren. Like, it's big enough that they will hurt that dude. That dude will get hurt. Like, the NBA is a serious organization where you're talking about grown men who are this is what they do every single day. Right. And I'm glad they showed the workouts in that movie Hustle. I'm glad they showed all that, because that's what it takes. You're getting paid to do this. This is not for everybody. So if you as an organization, if you're going to be like, we'll just wing it, we'll just hope that this guy is good based because he went to Duke or whatever. No, because what happens is the guy comes in, you find out he's got all these different issues, concerns. He might have some kind of damn phobia that you don't even know about. And the next thing you know, that's a problem for the organization moving forward. The organization, a multi-billion-dollar organization. You best believe I'm going to check the hood, the tires, the oil, the windshield wiper fluid. I'm going to see if the balance is right. I'm going to check everything on that vehicle before I put it on the road.
Come to find out he has a sweat phobia.
Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Coach. I'm definitely going to do my homework. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to do my homework. I'm definitely going to do my homework on a history check and make sure this guy's legit. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, plus when Jerry went to Duke, as much as I love Coach K, Duke has a terrible track record.
Terrible track record.
That's true. That is true. That is totally true. But he could be that guy to change things around for Duke. You saying the guy number one pick, but you say that, but Kyrie is a Duke player.
And look what happened. The world is flat. I'm just
Kyrie, we know Zion's a first round pick.
And look what happened.
Hurt. He did get hurt. He's hurt. But now they looking at him.
2 games in 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, we just go see. He was hurt. I got it. I totally understand where Coach is coming from. But
Greg Oden.
Straight bus.
Sam Bowie. You can go back in history and look at these guys, and you probably could have found out some stuff about Greg Oden if we would have had the information now to go in depth and look at these guys' health the way that we want to look at it. Sam Bowie, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Sam Bowie was killing everybody in college.
Yeah.
He was killing everybody. He
was a beast.
That was one. Christian Laettner, right? Laettner didn't go number one, but he was a pretty high pick.
Right, Christian Laettner, yeah.
But he best player in college basketball, probably top 3 as a college basketball player. Right. NBA, not so much.
Trash.
Not so much.
Yeah, straight trash. I agree. And I totally understand where Coach you and Coach Hunter are coming from. Coach, I get it. I was just trying to ruffle some feathers.
We don't even do that in military basketball. You got to come see us. Like if in military basketball, I don't care where you played. I truly don't care where you played. You could play for West Point. You could play for anywhere. My motto was, if you couldn't survive those first 30 minutes in practice with Vanessa Ramirez, our trainer, I didn't want to see you.
Oh, wow.
I didn't want to see you. You had to survive those first 30 minutes. And you can ask people about them first 30 minutes of practice, that at least the ones that played for me in Korea. It was brutal. If you couldn't survive that, then I mean, why are you here? You're not in basketball shape. I don't care if you played all 4 years, and then they would tell me they played all 4 years, and I call and check. But I don't even want to see you if you have any. If you can't, if you're not even in a decent amount of basketball shape, there's no need for you to. We don't do that even in military basketball. You got to come and show us.
It's funny that you say that, Coach, in which if y'all caught it, the newly drafted Arizona standout, Benedict Mathurin, the state, of course, that he knows and that he's no one is better than him, and LeBron has to show him that he's better than him. Of course, LeBron's rebuttal was young Rook needs to put more attention. Paraphrasing, young Rook needs to put more attention on winning the starting spot from Lance Stevenson. Everyone is a clout chaser. And so I bring this. I know it's conversation.
But Trey, shouldn't you as a
I was about to say that. Go ahead. You're probably
you saying it then. As coming in the league, you supposed to feel like you're the best and no one can beat you. You supposed to have that chip on your look at coach. Look at coach. You supposed to have that chip on your shoulder. You don't want that chip shouldered player to come in and feel like that. Now, mind you, there's a difference of saying it and being and believing it, and then coming out and being that dude that's like real arrogant. Don't get me wrong. I get there's a difference. But for you to have that mindset to have your coaches feel like, okay, this dude got a chip on his shoulder. He coming in trying to prove himself that he's the next LeBron, Kobe, Michael, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
It's just like old boy saying, you don't do it like that. The reason you don't look, if your name comes out the hat and you standing up there with Adam Silver and y'all taking a picture, be humble. Just be humble. The time for you to show like your talent and everything, like that's gonna come when you get an opportunity to get out there on the court. This young man just put all this pressure on himself to perform. He might not even get in a game. He might not even be on a team. He could be with a G League team someplace. So let's just be real. I mean, why come out there and say, well, LeBron, you got to show me. Man, LeBron's still the best player in the world. Okay. And I'm not even a LeBron like fan like that. I mean, I'm a Kobe Bryant fan, but as Kobe's not here no more. So the bottom line is LeBron James is the best player in the world. Period. That's the best player in the world. Now I know some people are gonna get on me about that comment, right?
But he on here right now. Go ahead, Ron. Speak.
He's the best player in the world.
Happy you came with the gospel today.
He's not the GOAT though.
No, he is not the GOAT. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Let's not. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, he's not the GOAT. Don't do that. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Let's drink our coffee.
Let's keep it real. 100.
Let's not. Randall, I love you very much. Coach Hunter, get your boy.
Hey, let's not push the envelope, bro. Let's not push the envelope. We good.
Let's keep it real.
Good.
Okay,
He real good.
Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. All right. Yeah. But no, he is
a great player.
He is a great ball player, and you're not gonna be able to say he's the best player in the world. Like until I don't even know how old LeBron is, but LeBron, if he really wanted to average 40 a game, he could average 40 a game without jump shots, just playing the game itself. He could. And so why would you, as a young man coming out of the draft, coming into the league now, why would you say that LeBron has to show you anything? Why would LeBron?
Why does he owe you that? Yeah, why does he owe you that?
Why does he? LeBron James owes you like nothing. Like LeBron James, and again, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with everything, and but as a ball player, what he did down 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors to come back like that, the guy's a champion. He's a winner, right? And so,
who is this dude, man?
Randall is wilding, boy.
You
Yeah,
was
he's wilding.
slipping. Yeah,
Hey,
you
that's
was
okay.
slipping,
Hey,
bro.
Randall, I got some. Where's my Gatorade at? Where's my Gatorade? I got some Gatorade for you.
Bro, he is
He on
Yo,
here. Hey,
him
he
and
on
coach,
here.
him and coach is wilding.
you wildin', bro.
That's
Hey.
your player.
LeBron is the top 15 right now. He's not the best in the world, sitting 10th in the West. Ooh, what do you say about that, Coach Miles?
Ron, you got
Okay,
that's
so Kobe Bryant missed the playoffs in after Shaq left, right?
Mhm.
He did.
And he was the best player in the world. Like one-on-one, you're not like when you say the best player. When you say I'm the best player in the world. Like Michael Jordan could say he was the best player in the world from like 1980 when he got 84 till he retired.
Facts.
Till he retired.
Facts.
Right, the first time.
Isaiah Thomas might have something to say about that.
So you can lose and still be the best player in the world.
Facts. I
You
agree.
can lose and still be the best player. It don't matter. It's not about like that. Like there might have been a time where T-Mac could have been considered the best player in the world with Kobe. You could say, but I mean, when you start talking about I'm the best player in the world, like the whole world, like billions of people, when we get out on this court and we play basketball, I'm the best player in the world. You could argue, because he put Scottie Pippen in there, you could argue Scottie Pippen was the second best player in the world. Or you could argue that Scottie Pippen was the best player in the world because there's a video out there where they show Phil Jackson was saying Pippen is the one who showed Jordan how to dunk off his left foot. I didn't even know that. So Pippen was a hell of an athlete. We're talking about not wins. Get wins out your head.
Yeah. Because that'll make you the best player in the world. That doesn't stop you from being the best player in the
that
world.
you can't do. Like I can do things that you can't do.
Right.
Like and nobody else in the world can do this. I don't believe. I do believe that LeBron James is still in that category because of his size, his speed, his quickness, his ability to get to the rim. He's the best player in the world. You know, I mean, I just say the GOAT. You can be the best player in the world right now. The GOAT to me is Kobe. I mean, that's me. The GOAT to me is Kobe. You see
There's a lot of difference in opinions this morning on first formation. I'll tell you. So
hold on. So Coach Miles, so Michael Jordan is not the GOAT? Or are you saying he is along with Kobe?
Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. Okay. So I think right below him is Kobe Bryant.
Agreed.
If you put Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant against each other, Jordan has more wins, making him the GOAT. Kobe was the better skilled basketball player. He's the most skilled basketball player, period.
Yeah, he did Michael Jordan better than him.
Whoa, how can he do Michael Jordan? I don't even, like Coach said earlier, say that slowly to yourself.
What is that? What is that?
No, that's what.
Because Ron, the professor, said he did Jordan better than him.
He did Michael
most
Jordan.
Skilled basketball player ever. You can't really debate that. That was Kobe Bean.
Oh my God, Bean Bryant. I know who he is, but my God.
That's right, baby.
My God.
He took what Jordan did and just studied it over and over. Like he was trying to get a doctorate degree or something.
And totally agree with that. I said it, but how many that y'all saying that is like saying Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a better kung fu fighter than Bruce Lee. Even though he was taught by Bruce Lee. We know this, but he was not a better kung fu fighter than Bruce Lee.
Kobe did Michael Jordan, like he said, better than Michael Jordan. And the reason I can say that is because he was able to. Jordan didn't have the 3-point shot that Kobe had. Kobe was able to do things with his. You're going to tell me that Michael Jordan had better footwork than Kobe Bryant? You can't say that, not with a straight face. Not with a straight face.
I can honestly believe I do. I honestly,
Not with a straight face.
Hold on, y'all honestly gonna tell me y'all feel like Kobe had a better jumper than Mike?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's hard. I can't believe. And a better finish at the rim than Mike.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
It's
what all Kobe is Michael Jordan 2.0. That's really what he is.
I'll give you that now, Coach. I will give you
Michael Jordan
2.0. But to be 2.0, there has to be a 1.0 first.
But you go to 2.0 because you want to get better.
Yes. Nobody has an iPhone 1 anymore.
Ain't nobody worried about Windows 95.
Bishop does not understand the iOS conversation because he's a Samsung cat.
Yeah, I'm not a Samsung fan.
Still got a flip phone?
No, really? That's where you going, Professor? No, I ain't got no flip phone. I got the best phone in the world, Samsung Galaxy. Let's go. Galaxy. Oh, hey, Galaxy. That's I see you. You got that. I see you, Coach. He know what it is.
Pulled it out.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot for this morning.
I
mean, Haley's definitely going.
I have no idea. Hey, is that
your people?
Star in our league. Randall Haley is a star in our league. I love him to death. I'm gonna see him in a couple of weeks. But that
must be your dude. Yeah, that's got to be.
That's Coach
Ryan or something. I don't know what's going on.
That's got to be your dude because he just came out of nowhere with that, bro.
No, that's Coach one of Coach Ryan's players. He a Phantom Warrior. A Phantom Warrior.
Okay, he trying to get under. So he just trying to get under Coach Myers' skin.
I don't know. No, I don't know what Randall's doing. Randall be saying this stuff like this on social media all the time. But I love him for it because he won. Randall's a great ball player. Straight up facts.
Mm-hmm.
Like he made some. We laugh about this, but he's had some statement games in the last 30 days, 40 days, and he's a person that talks a lot, but can back up. He's backed up a lot of what he said, and he's one of the best big men in the military. Period. I mean, if not the hell yeah, shit. He proved that like he just put it this way with a smile on my face. He went out and proved that he was the best center at a specific tournament that I won't say, but he definitely showed that he's a great ball player and I didn't say that.
They coming for you. Ask Wayne. Oh, that must be your player.
No.
Wait. Coach Walcott is.
Listen, all I'm saying is Randall showed everybody who to get with. Randall showed everybody who to get with, and I can appreciate that. So basically, what Haley did is exactly what this kid is doing to LeBron James.
Okay.
He went out, but Haley answered the call, and I mean, I saw the full repertoire too. I mean, he was running the floor, he was shooting the 3-ball. I mean,
as a big man, okay,
that's a big man, yeah, and I was just like, I said he showed who to get with, and the bottom line is that that question was answered.
I get it.
And the discussion is over.
Game blouses.
Game.
Yes, it was like that. So,
okay.
But yeah, I love the kid, man. And Uriah's done great work with him. Done really great work with him, and he's been fortunate to have some real great coaches too, because Coach Mayon used to coach him as well. So yeah.
So I asked this question, and this is going to be the last question for the NBA, but it's probably going to be one that extends this. And I think it's the most important one for NBA. Kyrie, LA.
No.
Kyrie, LA.
No.
Doesn't make a difference.
Please don't. Jenny Bus, listen to me. Jenny, listen to me. Laker fans around the world, like you already made a mistake with Westbrook. Listen to me. Do what you can, but do not make that call. Don't do that. Don't bring him out there.
Ooh.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's been said by the NBA commissioner, M as in Mike, NBA commissioner. They do not.
Oh man, I got a question on here. Oh gosh, did you see that question? I don't know if I should answer that.
Michael, Mr. Richardson.
No, Zach Styles said.
Oh, what he say?
He said, "Who is
the
top five?" Are you
Ooh.
saying NBA?
He said NBA. He's saying it right. NBA.
Oh wait, hold up. Now everybody on coach now. So let's go. Let's go. So, ain't no fun with a rabbit got the gun, Mr. Hunter.
He said,
look at the comments. Everyone, look at the comments. Look at the comments. They coming for him. Let's go. You got the floor, coach.
So first of all, now we're talking about winning by 30, and that's again, I've already won what I need to win, and I have nothing to prove on here. So for me personally, I like seeing a person get challenged, like Randall Haley got challenged, and I like seeing them answer the call. I love that.
I like it.
Me getting beat by 30, I've been beat by 50.
Ooh.
Okay, right. Ooh. But
it happens.
I can show. I mean, I'm in my little man cave right now. I can show you what I've done. So I don't have to prove getting beat by 30 or giving that out. The way you win matters. But I also see that someone asked who's the top five in the NBA as far as like and that's a great question, man. We have like in basketball, we have some amazing military basketball players. My favorite basketball player in the NBA that I love to watch, and I've been no secret about this. He's a little older now, but I like Ollie Bradley. That's like to me, he's top 5 in anything. He might not be number 1 because he's a little older, but Ollie Bradley is one of the best basketball players I've ever seen play military basketball. Mm-hmm. Like and that is currently still playing.
Oh wow. Is he like a LeBron James? He's in his 30s or something like that?
Randall Haley. I mean, Ollie Bradley is like Tez Hall. No, Tez
is making his
like straight up. Like I saw him give Casey 37. I think he gave Kunsan 50.
Ooh.
Ella Ellis is okay. So Ella Ellis is not in the NBA, but Ella is tough. I've seen Ella do some if you're talking about current military basketball players over the last 4 or 5 years, man, that's tough because Baptiste is cold. Brian Baptiste was cold. He was an MVP. Ella Ellis was tough. But if we're looking at the top 5 ball players right now, like who do you have to worry about coming to this tournament? Wayne has one, man. If he's healthy, Ray Colton. I got a chance to see him play in Texas, Lieutenant. Great ball player. Great kid. Great basketball player. Who else? Paul Parker has Wooten. Wooten is tough. Like probably if you look at the best centers in the military right now, you got to go Haley. Mayo is good from Bragg, but he's not in the NBA. I can say this because I've seen all these dudes play. Like there's not a lot of people out there who have seen these guys play that are tough like that. And then the kid from Wooten, Haley, Mayo. Who else is tough? I mean, guard-wise, it's like I said, it would probably be Colton Ray. He's tough. He's just a guard that I've seen. I mean, he's just quick, shape, but I really hope that young man is healthy because he's a tough cover. But that would be, and then Ollie Bradley. So those
are the 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably missing some folks out there.
Oh, somebody said,
Bill's been great for years though. I mean, Tyrone Bill. I mean, I remember Tyrone Bill's been playing this game for a long time. Henderson's great. He's in the NBA. Won 2 national championships with him. So
nice.
So yeah, I mean, I've been beat by 30, but I mean, if I count all the wins versus all the losses, I mean,
they outweigh the other, no doubt.
Yeah, well, it just makes it worthwhile. I mean, who else is pretty decent? Benning got guys down there that you ain't never even heard of. Fort Benning has some really good guys. Turbo, that kid was amazing. So
he's singing up. Coach, you know what, Coach Ryan? Coach, you know what?
He said Coach, what?
You giving out Lifetime Achievement Awards. We want the top 5 in the
game. Top 5 in the game today. Alexis Rodriguez, top 5 guard. Top 5 guard. Alexis, definitely top 5 guard. Ray Colton, top 5 guard. McGee, top 5 guard. So we got those 3. Then you got Randall Haley, you got OJ Mayo, you got Jaquan Wooten. Those guys would be my top 5 to 6 guys that.
There it is.
If you put them on the floor, and Ollie Bradley. You put those guys on the floor, they're gonna make a difference. They're just gonna make a difference. Uriah trying to, Uriah, I have to play a little politics, man.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's gonna happen though? You know what's gonna happen with Coach Myers doing that? This tournament in Colorado is about to be even more.
Oh man,
he done made it real. Like, he ain't put my name in that list. Okay, I got something for you, Commissioner.
Well, I want to see it. Yeah,
exactly.
This potentially could be my last year, coaching basketball. And so I'll be, focusing more on. That's some news, but focusing more on
Don't even see, Coach. You know what I'm saying?
Coach Hunter be on Coach Myers, man.
You know what? Coach Hunter's on me because you know why? Because there's really nothing to talk about in Chicago. So, there's really nothing to talk about in Chicago.
Hey, darts thrown. Coach Haley said that's a horrible top 5.
And he's in it.
I know, right? He's in it though.
He's in the top 5. But no, listen. Yeah. All the guys who play are really good basketball players, and there could be someone that shows up at our tournament that we have never seen or heard of before, that is a difference maker. And so that's what I love about military basketball. But yeah, I seen Tyrone Bill on there. Hendo is definitely top 5, but I know that Benning has some guys. There's a lot of dudes out there that do. And you know what's so crazy? Some little E4 out there who's hooping could come in and dominate the tournament.
Ooh, who's this dude?
Jamal Lawson.
Oh, Jamal Lawson in your top 5, he says.
Jamal Lawson, first of all, is hurt. He's hurt. Jamal played for me in Atlanta, so he's awesome guy. I mean, but he's hurt. But he's a big man who can run the floor, can shoot the 3 ball. We know that for a fact because that's how we got. Oh, you know what? Who else is good is my man from Eglin. So you gotta realize there's NBA and then there's like the independent guys that are out there in military basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So, hold on. So Coach Myers, you didn't name anybody outside of that Army no Air Force in the top 10? Is that what he's saying? No. He said all of them were Army, or were they just, or everybody was something?
No, they weren't all Army. McGee is Navy.
Okay. So no, it was just no Air Force top 10 guy.
Yeah.
That's what he
no,
said.
There's Air Force guys that are in there that should be top 10. I mean, ask Mike what he thinks about
the look on Rod's face. Rod is like the side eye. He's like, wow, that's what he's doing.
Ali is a future Hall of Famer. That's the bottom line. I mean, that's a guy who like, he's been doing it for a long time. I was like, how many gold medals do you have? He's like 6.
Okay, Ali's Air Force. Got you.
Yeah, six gold medals.
Oh wow.
Six Armed Forces gold medals.
Oh wow.
Like back when they supported it and like it was like legit and you could, 6 gold medals. Like, I think he got them. He may have gotten them like straight. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, he
back to back.
Ali has been good for a long. Corey Rucker is another one. He's another great Air Force guard, just tough. Mike Lyons, he's here in Colorado Springs. He's tough. Those are Air Force dudes that are tough, but they're not necessarily playing right now.
Oh, okay.
Hendo, yes, definitely should be Hall of Fame, man. One of these days. Henderson's tough, man. Henderson came out of nowhere. So I mean, yeah, your show. I didn't mean to take it over, but if you ask me the top 5 guys of people who I would definitely pick up, there's some Air Force dudes. Mike Argyle, he's here. I mean, he's the best player in East Branch. Why are you doing me like that? Ali had 6. Yeah, he's right. Ali had 6 consecutive gold medals, man. To understand how like that is like crazy,
right?
To win that tournament 6 times with the same group, the same system, the same core of people, basically, that's tough. If you watch Ali play, he's even evolved his game. Ali used to be like back in the day when I saw him. I mean, he was just tough, but he's just a tough dude. But the best in each branch. Man, the best in each branch. On the Air Force side, gosh, and this for me, if I had, what is Wayne talking about now? Never mind. All right, so, but the best in each branch, I would say, the best player in the Army. And this is if he's still playing, man.
Hot seat.
What's my guy's name? He's an African guy. Mamadou Seck. Seck is and Randall Haley will probably tell you that Seck is probably the best basketball player in the Army. So if he's still playing. If you're listening, when I saw him play in 2019, he was the best player in the Army. On the Air Force side, I don't care what anybody says. I like Ollie Bradley. Period. I don't care how old he is. That's a guy that I will take on any team. First and foremost, because he's evolved his game. So he's older now, but he's smarter. I mean, he gave us basically the business last year. We were blowing Luke out, but then he decided he wanted to be a pro, and he was like, "Coach," he literally came up to me like Kobe went up to old dude in the Phoenix Suns and was just like, "You better tell him." And I was like, "Shoot." And I knew what time it was because he just started hitting shots. So I say Seck for the Army, Ollie Bradley for the Air Force.
What up, Leslie?
I'll say for the Marine Corps. That's man, the Marines, that's gonna be tough. I mean, you might have to give it to Chris Harris on the Marine Corps side. It's got to be Chris Harris on the Marines.
That's what's on
the Navy. On the Navy side, man, when he wasn't hurt, what's the little guard that killed everybody in 19? Mike knows who I'm talking about. That little guard, man, he was tough. Oh God. Oh, man, I forget his name, but he was tough. There's a guard that won on the Navy side. Tillman Dunbar. See, it just comes back to my name. But that he's a tough cover. So those would be my guys. And if you take those 4 dudes and you put them on the same team, they could all work together, play together, and be legit. Yeah, Dunbar is tough, but I think he's out of the Navy. So, but if you ask me, maybe he's a reservist. He's in the Navy Reserve. I don't know, but that's the best for each service.
Okay. So another question popped up in my head, moving back into the NBA, and we'll get back to the NBA momentarily. In which, like, this will actually be my last question because it may spark something a little bit, but just to get a little bit as our last question, adding something new to like our little conversation. It's another Mount Rushmore question, but we're going to be a little more specific. Ron, if I'll start with you. Give me your Mount Rushmore in shooting guards.
Shooting guards.
Shooting guards, yes, sir.
Well, since the commissioner said it earlier, first it's gonna be Kobe.
Bean, okay.
I'll take that. It's only photo. Just
because that's been the vibe today.
That's been the vibe.
Jordan number 2.
Okay. Oh, wait. See, you gonna start something.
Disrespect. Here it comes.
That's cool. He on the mountain.
He's on the mountain, true. But when he said number 2 is like that's the smart.
Yeah,
it's like
he did that
include some words. But okay,
he did that on purpose.
How many I get? 4?
4.
Yep.
Yes, two more.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore.
Before I name my next one, I just want to give an honorable mention
to
Jerry West.
So that means he's not on it. Basically, that's what you say.
Yeah, he's not on it. Yeah,
Nah, you can't put Jerry West on.
Yeah.
2 more.
I really don't want to put D Wade on my Mount Rushmore.
But you're about to? Is that what we're
sounds
hearing?
like you're about to, though. It sounds like that's exactly what it sounds like. You're about to. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna give it because I don't want to do D Wade or James Harden.
Okay.
Yeah, I can feel that.
I got 2 guys on my head that is just, sticking with me thinking about these shooting guards. The dudes that competed with Kobe, and often we thought they may have been better than Kobe. Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter.
Yep. That's a good list. I'm not going to
really. I do not. Oh my goodness! I cannot get.
I definitely can't put Vince Carter on there. I cannot. Not as the best. Not on Mount Rushmore. I don't know how long he played, but no, I cannot.
Nah, you can't put him on Mount Rushmore.
No, I cannot. Not. No.
Pikes Peak. You put him on Pikes
Peak.
So I'm gonna give you mine. Here go my foe.
I love Reggie Miller.
Yeah, I'm putting Michael Jordan, Kobe Bean Bryant. Forget what Ron talking about. I gotta put Dwayne Wade on there, man. In my opinion, Dwayne deserves to be on that joint. And then the 4th position is hard because mine is either like Michael has. It's either gonna be Ray Allen or Reggie Miller for me. One of the 2.
Is it shooting guards or guards?
Shooting guards.
Shooting guards. Ooh. Okay.
And that's why I got I'm leaning toward Reggie Miller.
Okay. For one last Malcolm.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward Reggie Miller. So that's my fault, man. I gotta go with Reggie, man.
Oh.
Iverson was a point, wasn't he? Wasn't Iverson the point?
That's what I was saying. That's where I don't know. I think Iverson could be considered. He could be considered a shooter because remember they had brought in Eric Snow.
Yeah,
when he was with the Sixers. That's right.
When he was a point guard.
Yeah. Yeah, he did play a bit of two. He did. He sure did. So if you put that in consideration, then yeah, he could possibly be on there. That's true. But I gave you my phone, so I ain't gonna change it.
James Harden.
I can't put him on. Y'all tripping.
Negative, Ghost
Right? Yeah, I can't put him on there.
Negative.
Yeah, I can't put Harden on there.
You got to play defense to be on anybody's mountain.
That part, bro.
Why is Coach Walcott tripping, yo? He says smush. Come on, stop playing.
Starks. Yeah, he definitely. He is on one. That's crazy. AI was the two. Yeah, at some point. Now he wasn't the two when he was in Denver, though.
True that. So for me, before coach get in, of course, Kobe, Jordan, of course. But then I usually go back. Usually I find someone that I think was a person that revolutionized the game at some point and changed the game. In a sense, for me, that's he was like one of my favorites, like coming up and watching basketball and stuff like that. Of course, that's Pistol Pete Maravich. And then lastly is I gotta go with the first, keeping it in the California family, Reggie Miller.
Okay, that's what okay. I give you that. I like that. I'm surprised you didn't throw Magic in there.
Nah, shooting guard. Magic was a point.
I just played all five positions. Remember, I'm surprised you didn't say, "Oh, he played all five."
I wasn't going, because if I would have done that, that's like basically changing, because we just say AI was a shooting guard, point guard. So Magic is great. He's on my Mount Rush. Well, Magic on my Mount. Yeah, Magic is on my Mount Run overall. So you're saying that's good enough for me. He doesn't have to be shooting guard. So he's going to be on my point guard one. That's basically what it is.
Coach Miles, you see that?
Yeah.
I put no D, and you just called me to a top five.
Wow. He plays enough D. Randall's tall enough to play enough defense. He got put in the spin machine a couple of times by
oh, Lord.
I saw that, but you can't tell me there's a coach out there that would say, I don't want Randall Haley on my team. I don't see that happening. Right. Unless you piss me off, then I'd be like, hey, you can go play someplace else. But no, most coaches are gonna want a Randall Haley playing for him. Whether I can get your defense right. But are y'all asking for my top five, four?
Top four. Mount Rushmore.
Four, yeah.
Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Allen Iverson.
Okay.
Dwayne Wade.
Thank you.
What's this Wade conversation? Even the T-Mac conversation.
Remember, he just said something real quick. Yeah. He said there were guys that came in the league that we thought were better than Kobe.
Okay.
The only person that comes to mind that could take it to Kobe was D Wade.
That part.
He showed that on Christmas Day.
That part, bro. Y'all sleeping on Wade.
He really did. He really did. Penny Hardaway was a point guard. Penny Hardaway
was a point. He was.
Yeah, I don't know what the question was. Donovan and Leslie was shooting guards. Don't add too much to the conversation.
SG's
point guards is coming.
Yeah.
Honorable mention would have to be Iceman Gervin, Elgin Baylor. I mean, you got these are dudes that could put up like 60.
Mm-hmm.
Like at shooting guard position, like 60, like they could do that.
Right.
So,
and that's the thing. They even got it that D Wade is the third top 10 best shooting guards in NBA history. They got him third
because,
he deserves it, man. He
does deserve it. He's got what, 2? How many rings he got? 3?
I don't think his prime was long enough.
I think he got one without.
He got one LeBron, without and two.
Or two with LeBron. 2 with LeBron and 1 without. Yeah, 2 with LeBron and 1 without. Yeah.
He got one with Shaq.
He's tough.
With Shaq. Yeah, 1 with Shaq.
So sliding into a little bit of the NFL, of course, I have some conversations before this. We gonna cut back, of course. If y'all continue to tune in throughout the week, you will be able to give your opinion on the next topic of the conversation of the Mount Rushmore of basketball in certain positions. But moving into a little bit of NFL, of course, you have a situation where I just thought about let's call this the suspension, suspended air, suspended. So of course we already know we have something in Deshaun Watson. Get to that in a second, but I'd like to introduce DeAndre Hopkins. So DeAndre Hopkins basically stated that he hopes that the NFL is going to reduce his what he got 6 game suspension for this upcoming season. Of course, I'm a 49ers fan, so I would prefer they don't reduce it. But in any case, they talk about reduce. He hopes they reduce it because what he's saying is that he wasn't. It was a very small percentage that was detected, and that small percentage basically counts was more so of a contamination as opposed to a him actually taking it. He's saying, with that being said, it should be just a light touch. But of course, what they say is the NFL's conduct, ban, excuse me, their stance on it is it was in his system and he should pay more, and the players should pay attention to what's in their system. So in that case, do y'all agree with DeAndre Hopkins? Should it just be reduced sentence, maybe 2 games as opposed to 6 games, or should it stay 6 games because it was in his system technically?
So my thing is, real quick, if it's in your system, it's in your system. I don't care if it's under a percent, it's in your system, regardless of the fact. So you have to, when it's all said and done, you have to be accountable for for what you've done. Now, I do agree, like they said, you do need to know what's going into your system as a player, because your body is your body. Your body is what puts you out on the field and is your tool for your work. Your body is your tool for your work. So if you don't know your tools, how are you going out there performing it at your best ability? And if your tool is rusty, or you putting stuff in there that makes your tool work better and gives you an advantage over anybody else, it's unfair to anybody else. Trey, stop looking like that, because I don't know. I know where you're going. The tool is the only thing I can think of right now. But anyway,
I can say anything. Oh my goodness!
But yeah, so yeah, I understand what Hop is talking about, but at the same token, hey, you got to pay the price.
So before anyone on the panel gets to that, so I just like to pose a question. Let's put it more so in our realm. So let's say as a service member, right? And you are around other service members that are, saying blazing, token, pulling, whatever case like that. And you get a contact high, and this contact high shows up in your urine sample. Do you keep that same rhetoric?
Absolutely. Again, you chose to be around that contact high.
Okay.
You chose to. You didn't have to stay there. Nobody forced you to be around guys who were smoking. You chose to be around those guys.
So technically, that's what I was going to say is nobody argues the piss test. Don't nobody really argue. I mean, now you could get into like chain of custody and stuff like that, but if your stuff come back hot, if you pop hot, nobody's like, oh well, there's no way it can't be me, like it's in your system. Like, so that
it got there somehow.
So you got to figure out, well, how did it get there? Blah, blah, blah. What he's saying is he's acknowledging it's in his system, but he's saying that it wasn't enough. And so his sentence or his suspension should be reduced. And all I'm saying is you're guilty. If you're guilty, you're guilty. You just got to go and suffer. You got to pay the man. And that, unfortunately, that's 6 games, and that's terrible. But you pay just like you pay a price to be free. In society, you pay a price. Like, you don't go out and do crime. It's a privilege to play in the NFL or the NBA, and there are certain things you don't do. There's even in military battle and even in the NBA, it's a privilege. Everything that we're doing nowadays, that you're offering an opportunity, a platform, it's a privilege. So we ask people not to do things that are counter to that message and that privilege. And if he's doing something if he's violated a policy, then you got to pay the price.
Mm-hmm. Of course, additionally, we know Alvin Kamara, running back for New Orleans Saints, had a situation during the Super Bowl, Pro Bowl weekend in Las Vegas, in which, of course, he's due to possibly face a suspension. So I just put an average on 6 games. Is 6 games suffice for Alvin Kamara, or is it too much?
What did he do?
He's felony assault. Is what he's facing.
6 games.
6 games.
Yeah, you can't.
Ron, you scratch your head, Ron. You got that look. He must be who you looking for a fantasy. That's what's going on.
Most likely.
Okay. So 6 games too much?
Yeah, way too much.
What?
Felony assault?
Of course he's gonna say that if he's looking for him for fantasy. Of course he's gonna say that.
Wait.
Felony assault.
Hold on. Say it slow.
Felony assault, bro.
Felony assault.
Didn't he just get into a fight with somebody?
Yeah, but in Las Vegas, it's a felony. It's a felony assault.
Yeah.
Like
he broke my man's collarbone.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Do we have the full story? I'm pretty sure it was like he wasn't like doing anything out of control. He was defending himself and took it way too much.
So remember the conversation supposedly was that the guy tried to get on the elevator. Right. They forced him off the elevator, and they tried to say that he did something to them, but of course they have the video footage in which displays that he didn't do anything except for somewhat turn tail and take off running while they chased him down and beat him down.
Right. And once again, just think of it in the aspect of if it was a gun, even though it wasn't. Once a person flees, you're supposed to like leave him alone. It's done. It's done. Once you chase him, now you've put yourself in a whole different situation. Because now you could have, if you just let him run away and go about his business, it's done.
You have an obligation to retreat and de-escalate.
That part. Yeah. And now you can say it was self-defense. I was protecting me and my family or myself or whatever. It's so forth. But once you,
which they try to say, but the video says differently.
Yeah, once you chase the person down, that's no longer self-defense. How are you self-defense if you're chasing after the guy who's supposedly aggravated assaulted you?
I'm just saying, why can't these guys just play football, man?
Because CTE is real.
Wow.
You laugh, but
I'm not. I know it's real.
It's not funny. Actually, that's a true statement. That's a true statement.
I believe it. I totally believe it. It is real. I cannot lie. That is real, without question.
If I'm the commissioner, I give him 3 games.
3 games? Ooh. So of course we know it's going to go through the process of the thing, which is the same process in which I know the Bishop is tired of speaking on it or hearing about it, but it's the same process in which now Deshaun Watson is going through, as the NFL has basically put forth what they believe should. Or the conversation was that the two sides couldn't come to an agreement on what is being put out or what is suspected for Deshaun Watson to be suspended. Of course, the NFL, they couldn't come to the two sides. So now that they can't come to the two sides, hearings will begin tomorrow, as the disciplinary officer will do her investigation in reference to Deshaun Watson and his conduct policy. After that, after it's canned down, if it's felt to be, if they still can't come to agreements, then they can appeal what the outcome is, and then of course it will be put back in the court of Roger Goodell to define. So what they're looking at, and gentlemen, please let me know if you believe it is too much, too egregious, or whatever like that. A year suspension.
So for me, that's gonna be hard. For me, I get it. This is coming down from the NFL.
Yes, the NFL is, yeah.
However, he has already done a year suspension. So a lot of people will feel like that's time served, even though it came down from the Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
To get a whole nother year, I feel like that's a bit much, being the fact that he's settled 20 of the 24 accusations. So no, I don't feel like a year is suitable. 4 to 5 games, maybe 6 at the most, but a full year.
In which hence the reason why he's fighting it. He's not just taking it. They don't agree with it. So he's fighting. So yes, 2020 game. I mean, 4 year commissioner. We was just talking about Deshaun Watson, his situation. Of course, we know the NFL has stated, or we're looking at, I think, a year suspension. Is that too much?
That I first and foremost, the question was asked, if you're innocent, why settle 20 of the cases? That's a great point. But the thing is that we all know, okay, we all know the criminal justice system and the way that system can be set up, right? You get, and so when you start looking at evidence and people are like, hey, what's going to be shown in a courtroom, if you don't want any of that stuff to see the light of day, or something embarrassing to you, you're going to settle those cases to try and in an attempt to just try to play football again.
Get it out of here.
This guy just wants to play football. He's been out of the league for a whole year. Why would you? I mean, it's almost like we're making. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal football player, right? Why are we trying to Colin Kaepernick this guy?
Part.
That's what I don't understand. Like, and then if you're innocent, and then someone has said something about you, and it's not true, but you have to deal with those cards anyway. Like that's a very difficult situation for him to be in. He's got to try and win in the court of public opinion, and he's got to also win. He's got to do what it takes, like Uriah's saying, to not go to jail. So and you got people out there who want to like see him do well. The best example of a person dealing with stuff like this was Kobe Bryant. He was the person that got a great attorney, did what he had to do, settled his case out of court, but the evidence that they had against him was BS. And so what did he do? He started playing basketball as soon as he could. I mean, you didn't see him sitting out any games. The league didn't really suspend him, and things were probably a little different back then. As soon as Deshaun Watson can get out there and change the narrative about what his actions were off the football field versus what he can do on the football field, I think that's going to, help his situation. But yeah, he might be getting paid, but all that money is going to his lawyers.
Oh yeah,
that part.
Like it say, I think if it was even in chat, Ron Shacker, where I see it, it's like someone said that 230 million guarantee is going to come in nice and handily, so he's going to spend the majority of that to get from underneath this. So definitely, but yeah, that's a tall task. He's already sat a year, in which I think Anthony Price was just talking about. He sat a year in which he bought with the Houston Texans, and now to be forced to sit a year with
he was forced to sit. He was forced to sit with the Houston. He just got paid. So I get where Anthony Price is coming from. The fact that he got paid while he was sitting is like he really didn't lose nothing. All he lost was the fact he wasn't able to play the game, but he still got paid as though he was playing the game. So it was like a lot of people may question, was that a true punishment? When it's all said and done, is that a true punishment because of the fact that he still got paid?
If he sits out another year, he's already not a top tier quarterback. He will not be a top tier quarterback. He will be Colin Kaepernick. I don't care what anybody says. Colin Kaepernick was a top tier quarterback. Now, he might have been playing in a crazy system. He might have been playing in a bad situation. He may have fallen off a year. When he took that team to the Super Bowl, he was a top tier quarterback.
Absolutely. Agreed.
So, so not playing hurts you. When you stop getting hit, stop throwing football, stop throwing touchdown passes, and stop running the ball, your skills diminish. And we've seen that with African-American athletes through history that have gotten in trouble with the law, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, or whatever, and you've seen their skills deteriorate over time when they were at their peak.
Right. and they're no longer playing the game. I totally agree with you. And I have to agree with Coach Miles with that, because if Deshaun Watson ends up sitting a whole nother year, his career is practically over.
Yeah, he might as well go be on First Take or
Yeah.
ESPN or be with Keyshawn Johnson and talk about the game.
Yep, that part. He can't. I don't think his career could take another whole year off.
No.
Especially being that it's not an injury. I don't think his career could take a full year off.
No.
I don't.
Well, of course, Commissioner, we know you got to get up out of here. Got to get to another formation, the one that paid the bills for you. We greatly appreciate you being on with us this morning. Anything last you want to say before you get off?
Hey, one, just I got some real cool stuff for First Formation. I put you guys on the official NBA T-shirt, so shout out.
Yes, appreciate that. Appreciate that.
You'll see that. I'll try and get one to Claiborne, so that you guys can have that.
Yes, sir.
But I really appreciate it, and anything you can do as far as post game comments during the NBA Finals. I know we'll talk about that stuff offline.
Yes,
but
sir.
I love this show, man. It's awesome. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
We appreciate that, Coach. We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
You help us make this show, man. We appreciate it.
All right, fellas. Y'all take it easy.
All right. Have a good one, Coach.
Yep.
All right. So can we continue on with a little bit of conversation or whatever case like that? Interesting enough, I don't know if you guys knew, Kenny Pickett, as we know, the 20th overall pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first round, was the last player to sign his contract. So currently all 32 players that were picked in the first round have signed their contract. But do you know what he signed for? Is this interesting? 4 years, $14 million, plus a signing bonus. That's something, bro. 4 years, $14 million.
He signed that?
That's what he get. That's the NFL is scaled.
Oh, that's right.
So say because Odoo got 36 million, I think 4 years, 36 million, but Pickett is looking at 4 years, 14 million, which of course equals about 3.5 million, and then of course he also got a $7 million signing bonus. So when you look at that, he got 21 million total for 4 years. And one of the reasons which they said that what they discussed or they talked about him why it took so long is because a lot of they say is normal, and hence the reason being that a lot of times the players try to negotiate maybe more money in the bonus, so they could so they have more money up front, which of course drops their yearly salary average, but 4 years, 14 million. So does this, Ron, I ask you, do you think this gives opens the door a little bit to playing on those contracts that we talk about when you basically have outplayed $3 million a year? Do you think this is still a reason to ask for 2 years in to a 4-year contract and be like, nah, I've outplayed this beyond, I need more money?
Yeah, that's how the world works. If you go to a job and you are outperforming everything that was required of you, and you're doing laps and circles around expectations, you're gonna be like, I need a promotion. Like, let's progress me for what I'm worth. Because I could go over here and do this with another organization, and they want to pay me much more. So now, if he come out and request a trade, that would be a problem.
So 2 divisions. I got 2 divisions here. I know we've discussed a little bit before I get into a different topic, but we got 2 divisions. So I want to know your opinion of these 2 divisions.
Hit me.
Best running back room in the NFC South. So before you get to your answer, I'll give you the room and what you're talking about. Baltimore, the Bucks, Fournette and Rashad White. The Falcons, Cordell and Tyler Algier. The Panthers, CMC, Christian McCaffrey, and Chuba Hubbard. And lastly, the Saints, Kamara, and Ingram. Best running back room.
Sure.
Personally, I think it'll be well. It's hard. That is hard because if Christian is healthy, I think it's the Panthers. Not buying it.
You may say this is cheating, but it's definitely the AFC North, built for running the ball.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
The Browns running back core alone is better than every single running back you just named. None of those guys is better than Chubb. Kamara, we just talked about how long he gonna be sitting out. Christian McCaffrey, we see him play 2 games a year, Trey.
Well, that's why I said it's strictly the division. So that's what if we look at the NFL, we already know without a doubt who that top is. What the division wise, we know that Cleveland has
So without mentioning Alvin Kamara, which one of those running backs is better than Kareem Hunt? You sound look like
I would say.
Don't do it.
I mean, it, like you said. Besides that, it wouldn't Kareem. The only, yeah. Of course, CMC. I would say, but he's not like we just said. He's not. He doesn't stay healthy enough to even kind of like to be in that conversation. You know what, Fournette?
Oh, stop it.
Fournette, man. Fournette. I got to give that to Fournette.
He has an opportunity to prove it. He has not shown it. We've expected a whole lot more of him. And, you know, Tom Brady going to need him this year.
Oh, without a doubt.
We'll see. With Gronk retiring, although he might come out of retirement like week 10. Y'all stay ready on them fantasy leagues. Be ready.
Yeah, go ahead. Matter of fact, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? First formation fantasy league this year. I implore y'all to go ahead and draft and stash Gronkowski. He'll be back. Go ahead, do that. Stash, and I'm drafting stash. So
round 10. Round 10 pick. Hold on, let me finish with the AFC North.
AFC North, go ahead. Okay, or AFC North. The AFC North, of course, their running back room. Best. Oh, go ahead. AFC North or AFC South. I'm sorry, AFC South.
You said NFC South.
NFC, and AFC, 2 divisions. Okay. So you said your piece in reference to that one. For the AFC South running back room, best running back room in AFC South. Your contestants, the Colts, Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines. Titans, Derrick Henry and Hassan Haskins. The Texans, Marlon Mack and Rex Burkhead. And lastly, the Jaguars, Travis Etienne and James Robinson. Who is holding that down?
What you mean by who's holding that down?
Who's the best running back room in the AFC South? It's probably a landslide. Yeah, that's a landslide. Jonathan Taylor alone.
Yeah.
Do you see upside in Travis Etienne now he finally gets opportunity to play? No.
When will you be drafting that guy? 7th, 8th
round? You know what? That's a good question. That is a good question. He's not even on my draft board right now. Like he was.
There you go.
So I got you. That
we got one running back in there that's gonna be on the draft board, and that's
without a doubt.
Yeah, that's the Colts. And
2 or
Nyheim Hines. If you're gonna go for our guy in the first round, what's his name? Jonathan Taylor. You might as well get the stash. Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So many question marks around him, Trey. Because if we were talking about all time, Derrick Henry is a better running back 10 out of 10 times. But is he gonna be able to do it again this year?
So what I'm hearing you tell me is when you're drafting, Derrick Henry's on the board. You're passing Derrick Henry?
Yeah, I'm not drafting him this year. I feel like Derrick Henry's done. Derrick Henry is done. I think he's 31. Let me look up Derrick Henry's age.
That is interesting.
If Derrick Henry comes back and has any semblance to the Derrick Henry of old, the one that's just been holding it down for the past 5 years, we're going to start talking about him as, the GOAT running back.
Mm-hmm. How he works. So, okay, got the two rooms. So, I have a series of records here, Ron, and what I have a question. Like, I like to know: do you think the record is going to be taken out this year? And if it does, who do you have it in your mind that's going to take out this record? So I'll let you know the record, who the record is held by, what the record is, and when the record was. So that way, of course, what the record is, when it was, so you can have an idea of how long it has been standing. So the first one we'll go with single season passing record, held by none other than Peyton Manning, which is 5,477 yards. It was established in 2013. Does that record fall in 2022 or 2023?
Not a chance.
Closest was Brady last year. He was like 100, a little over 100, a little less than 150 yards off. But of course, I don't think we see another season like that from Brady. So you think the record continues?
Nobody is a problem like that. Like that Manning team, we're not gonna sit here and disrespect that. We was calling them the Horsemen, Peyton Manning and the Horsemen. Them boys was bad. What receiving core do we got like that?
We would have if they kept Woods and they would have re-signed Beckham. Y'all would be the greatest show on turf 2.0.
I can't believe Woods left us.
Like, why did they do that? Why did they get rid of Woods? They brought in Allen and got rid of Woods. So I don't know.
You could have kept Woods and Odell. That's a great four to have. You still could have did it all. There was no reason for Woods to go to to freaking Titans to replace AJ Brown.
Basically. Okay. Next, single season receiving yards.
Who that?
Of course, owned by Johnson. 1,964 yards, set in 2012. Does Cup get it done this year? Does someone else enter the fray?
He already. Well, I guess he only led the NFL. The triple cup is.
Yeah, he just got the triple crown. He didn't break the record. He was 20 yards from breaking it.
Dang.
20 yards, but then they put the clamps on him.
Dang, 20 yards from breaking it. Can he repeat this year that he did last year? I don't think he gets close.
I got a question for you when we come back to that. Bishop, one of the questions, we was just going over these records, so we went over the two of them so far, and we think if they're going to be broken. The first one was the single season passing record held by Peyton Manning, which is 5,477 yards, made in 2013. Do you foresee that record falling this year?
No.
Closest it came is 150 yards short was Tom Brady.
Yeah, no.
Okay, and then of course the next one was the receiving yard records set by Calvin Johnson, which is 1,964, set in 2012. Cooper Kupp came the closest last year, missed it by 20 yards.
Yeah.
Is there a repeat? No. You think that still stands, or do you think someone else might do it? Is there anyone else in mind? Jamar Chase,
who was behind Cooper Kupp?
Who was behind? I think Chase. It was as a rookie was pretty. It was I mean he wasn't close, but he was I think 1,400 yards receiving last year.
And what's the record?
1,964.
1964. Yeah, no, ain't nobody. No, not this year. Not yet.
Okay. Next record. Single season reception. Michael Thomas, 149 yard receiving receptions, set in 2019. Of course, the closest was Cooper Kupp last year. He fell 5 short. 5 short to break it.
Receptions, right? Receiving receptions.
Yes. Does that fall this year?
He was 5 short.
5 short.
Like I
If he
said
can stay,
before,
if he can stay healthy, he might be able to get that one.
it's
No,
not getting close.
too much, too exerted. You think the defenses are checking for Cup this year now?
Yeah,
Without
they
a doubt.
they are, but I don't think they're gonna be. I totally agree with Ron without a doubt, but I don't think they're gonna get. I don't think they're gonna be able to stop him.
You don't think it will contain them? Not
Mm-mm.
even contain them. You
Mm-mm.
might have. You think you have a record? It'd be something for him. I don't know. We gonna get to that. I won't get back because I
That
have some
all
questions.
depends on that all depends on if Big Rob shows up. If Allen Robinson comes and performs. But you know, a lot of people in Chicago, I've been hearing lately, was glad to let him go. So, you know, let's see.
Next one. Single season receiving touchdowns held by Randy Moss, 23, done in 2007. The closest, hell, I don't even know what the closest was. Cup was even close. Cup had only, I think, 16 last year,
Oh, yeah.
so that was 7 short.
Yeah, that was that Tom Brady, Randy Moss year.
Yep.
50
Yep.
touchdowns by Brady.
Yep. Yeah.
Does that fall or does
No,
that stay? It stay.
it stays.
So far the only one I think it might fall is Thomas is 149. Next one,
That was so huge.
single season rushing TD. LaDainian Tomlinson, 28 rushing touchdowns. 2006 was established.
Trey,
Does
you
that?
know ain't nobody running the ball like that no more.
No.
Come
We
on.
talked about that the other day. It's a passing league. It ain't a rushing league.
Trey Lance, you are on the clock.
We'll be talking about that in, 50 years. LaDainian Tomlinson, GOAT, slept on.
Okay. Single season, of course, this goes back to what y'all was just talking about. Single season scrimmage yards, of course, held by Johnson, 2,509 yards set in 09. I presume if we can't get the rushing touchdown, they're not going to get the rushing, as no one rushing for 2,500 from scrimmage anytime soon.
Chris Johnson was so dope.
Yeah.
Man, you sending me back.
They had a 1-2 punch too. Him and Lindell White, Thunder Lightning.
How many yards did he get again?
2,509.
Mm.
The closest has been was it LaDainian? No, West. Oh, you know what? To stand corrected. Well, I think that's maybe not now. Well, we'll see. We'll have to see. That's another question we have to come back to. Single season sacks. Michael Strahan and TJ Watt currently hold it for 22 and a half sacks. 2001, 2021. Does that record fall? Even though I know Michael Parsons stated that he's going to get at minimum 15 sacks, but he's going for 23. And of course, TJ
Bro,
Watt is saying he's going for
Parsons
23.
play for the Cowboys. Get ready for tragedy. This is how things go in Dallas.
He said he's going to get 10 of those sacks against the Philadelphia Eagles.
He
I
didn't say
will
that.
be.
He did not say that. He
If
damn
Michael
sure.
Parsons could put it together with the Cowboys and having it, because if you getting 23 sacks, you're the best defense in the NFL. So he's basically telling me that the Cowboys Bishop is going to be the best defense in the NFL.
Best
Big
defense in the NFC East at minimum.
Nope. Big boy Davis is going to get twinkle with that record. Not
Eagles.
this,
The Eagles is putting up 30 easy on the Cowboys.
Upcoming season, he gonna twinkle with that stat line.
Of course, additionally, sacks allowed in a season. David Carr, 76 sacks taken in the season 2002. Does that record fall?
No.
Oh my gosh, who was the closest before?
Last year, your boy Zach Wilson.
That's what I was going to say this year. Dang.
Yes, he was the one. He had in the games he played, I think he was at like 40 or something like that.
No, he only got to 40.
Yeah. But yeah, he only had 40 games. But I mean 40 sacks, but he also played a whole lot less games.
Yeah.
I don't think we got any really atrocious offensive lines like that.
Not anymore. I think a lot of teams just cleaned up their
The
line situation.
The
The Bengals
Bengals
would have
fixed
been
theirs
yeah.
up. I think the Jets fixed theirs up. They did a lot of roster improvements. We'll see. It's probably going to be him again. That's what I was going to say, getting sacked most this year.
And then, of course, lastly, the career fourth quarter comebacks. Peyton Manning holds the record with 43 of them. But, of course, only one, your man needs 2 to break the record. That man being Tom Brady needs 1 to tie it, 1 fourth quarter comeback to tie it, 2 to break it. Does that record fall this year?
Yeah, that falls. That falls. He'll do that. Yeah, he'll do that without question.
Man, I wish Tom Brady left the Bucks and went to the 49ers.
Why would you want that? Why in the world would you want that? Would you really want to deal with? You really would want to deal with Trey and Tom Brady over there? Would you really would want that? Hell no.
Just him in Tampa Bay has gotten stale. I don't know.
In 1 season, 2 seasons, Jesus.
They wore out. They weren't meant for this lifestyle. Bruce Arians is not that guy. However, I do love the fact that they have an all-black coaching staff. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to put some magic together around Tom this year. But I'm just thinking about all the fourth quarter comebacks he's going to have to put together since we're on the topic.
So interestingly enough, oh wait, hold up. What did Cam say? I wanted to see Brady back in New England and Debo.
Right. I would have loved that. Go back and play for New England for a year, but their squad's trash. Play New England.
So some things were realized, Bishop. I know you was off for a second. What I did come to realize is from Ron's own admission, if he's on the clock and Derrick Henry is there, he's not drafting him.
Ooh, we ended with fantasy.
Say what?
If he's on the clock and Derrick Henry is available, he's not drafting him.
I'm happy you brought that up, Trey.
Yes.
I looked up Derrick Henry, who's only 28, Bishop.
Right.
215 tackle times in 2018, 303 in 2019, 378 tackles in 2020, 219 last year. This man been tackled over 1,000 times in the last 4 years. And that's not including receiving, blocking. If he puts it together again this year, I'm gonna start calling him the GOAT Henry, no longer King.
So why would you draft him then?
No, I'm not.
He's not drafted.
I'm not going anywhere close to Derrick Henry this year.
That's what I said. Why wouldn't you draft him? That's what I said.
If he's like sitting there in the 5th round, but there's 4 picks above him.
You know Henry is not going to make it past the 5th player, let alone the 5th round.
5th player? He's not going in the 1st round.
He's going in the 1st round.
Don't be surprised. Don't be
surprised. Y'all can have him. Y'all can have him.
Look at Anthony.
I'm just saying, don't be surprised. I'm not telling no secrets.
I'm gonna be the fantasy guru. So Anthony, I'm gonna be helping folks out all year. That's what I'm here to do. As I whoop Trey and Bishop in these fantasy leagues.
That's not gonna happen.
I hope we doing a buy-in because I cannot freaking wait. Football, we need y'all to hurry up.
So as I've stated, of course, you know what I'm saying, first fantasy, as I say, we're going to have our first fantasy draft. Of course, we fit that and talk about it all the time. If you go to the Facebook fantasy, the First Formation Facebook page, you'll see it go to the groups. You go to groups, you can see the First Formation Fantasy Football League group in which you can become a part of. And then there's a couple of questions, a couple of polls in there that I'd like you to go in and answer so we can start to round that out a little bit and so we can get the planning process on the way. As we know, fantasy football is only maybe about a month and a half away, or 2 months away at 60 days. and which is about to go down. So we get some information as we look to fine tune this thing. As I said, I'm nice with it. I'm not going to do any talking.
And thank you for tuning in today to First Formation. We appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. This dude always talk about I'm not gonna talk about it, but he talks about it every
I'm
week.
nice. I just say I'm nice. That's the only thing I say. I'm nice.
How
I'm that
nice
dude.
are you?
Remember I
very
talked
nice.
about that dude in the beginning of the show about that college basketball player talking about he's better than LeBron until LeBron proves him that he's better than him. That's dude. There go Trey. That's him right there. That's Trey right there. This dude right here, bro. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Trey, you won last year, right?
I won in our fraternity one, yes.
Okay.
I won. Actually, I played a total of 8 fantasy leagues last year.
Here comes the resume.
I played the 8. I played the 8. I played the 8 fantasies last year.
He won 5.
I did actually win. I won 3 of them. I was in a championship in 5 of them, and I won 3 of the 5 championships.
Oh, here we go.
So,
mic drop.
So I do. Like I said, it's in different formats and stuff like that. That's how I play around to see what you're saying. So that's what goes on. So, like I said, I'm that dude, and
the worst. That part, Anthony. What you just said, Anthony. The person who talks about is the worst, but keep that same.
I can assure you that. I can assure you, I am not that person. I'm
gonna give y'all quick, because I know we're out of time. I'm gonna give y'all a quick backstory on Trey. This is the thing.
I'm not that person.
Trey is not that dude who his draft picks don't be 100. If you would look at his,
they not.
Listen, his draft picks will be about a C-, maybe a D+.
I make it up in free agency.
He make trades. He makes, and then he.
I don't even do trades. I sit up and go in free agency. That's what it is. I can care less. Honestly, I can really care less about the draft. The draft is going to give me a base point. I make my team up during the course of the season.
But he gonna offer trades, and he gonna get free agents.
Yeah.
Don't fall for the banana in the shell.
That's how I build my team. So
don't let Trey he give you some outlandish trades too, some things he think bro. And that's the thing. Trey get trades where people ain't paying attention to the trade in which he's
Let's do it. I've been playing fantasy for almost a little over 15 years, and I've never missed the playoffs. So
we got another one.
I'm ready.
We got another one.
Let's do it. Let's bring it. We're gonna have to put together some. We're going to put together some fantasy shows. I love hearing. I love hearing 8 leagues.
Yeah,
I'm about that life.
And I can put. What's different is I can pull receipts. I have receipts in which say of my greatness. So in any case, like I said.
This dude,
bro. Thank you, Zach. Zach was, he witnessed my greatness. He was a victim, unfortunately. So it does say, but in any case, like I said, be sure to go check this out. If you join the group that tells us that that's your interest, and we put that in, and greatly appreciate the if you go check out the poll. There's 2 polls that's on there currently, so we can start fine tune. If not, then you can just always catch the talk here as we discuss it, and basically y'all watch greatness unfold in front of your eyes. Of course, that has been today's show. We greatly appreciate y'all high speeds rocking us with us this morning. Y'all know where to catch us every Monday through Friday, 09 to 1100 hours. If you're civilians, that's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Monday through Friday for the most part. Of course, we got, like I said, some things coming up. At some point, we'll be interviewing and going through with the teams and going through the NBA championship tournament. We'll have conversations with the coaches and the teams specifically so they can give their renditions and talks about it here. Come and visit with us, talk about it. You might see the situation when we got Haley on here, and he could explain himself in reference to Kobe and Michael Jordan or whatever, or whomever they think. We could have conversations about that and go into it. We look forward to see what y'all. Bishop, Ron, any last words before we part?
Y'all have a great Monday, man. Enjoy your week. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Be blessed.
Do not draft Derrick Henry.
I'm going to let you know if Henry's there when I draft, I'm drafting Henry. I'm just going to keep it 100. Even though it has hurt me lately, but I think this is a year in which it's not going to hurt me. Great. But I digress.
I'm like I said, I'm going to be beating you. So
No.
I want you to make that decision.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
As
I'll
he
be
said,
taking a wide receiver in the
hopefully you
first or second.
take Allen Robinson. Of course, that's the show for today. Like I said, greatly appreciate it. So at this time, show attention, fall out, enjoy the rest of your games. We look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow morning. Holla.
Cyro 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated. Y'all be easy. Peace.